Okay, you guys, I'm sitting here with my friend's new partner, Mickey, and he's also my friend now, too, my soul brother. And he's come to visit on a trip, and we're having a great time. But we've been chatting about some interesting deep dive things. I wanted to share some of our conversations with you, just a little snippet. So when he met me, he did kind of look at me in the eye. He's been watching some of my content on YouTube here, and he said, I am also a TI, which is a shorthand for targeted individual. And before people kind of flinch at that, I want to say that doesn't mean you're a victim or that you're playing victim. It actually means that for some reason or other, you have been targeted by whom or whatever, and they've decided to gang stalk, gaslight, or vet, recruit, mock, dismiss, just to see what you're up to and what you're about if they can't figure you out and put you in a little box. So both of us have had those kinds of experiences. For me, it's been an ongoing thing since I was a kid. I would have a great solid group of friends, and then I would have, like the mean girl bully energies around me. And that is a pattern that I'm desperately trying to break and working on. Not desperately, but just mindfully and diligently, I should say. But so we're going to get a little into Mickey's story and not too many details, but just the broad strokes of what does that mean to you, that phrase? How has it played out for you? And more importantly, what have you learned from it, and where are you going to go with the intel you got from those experiences, which could be harrowing, sometimes life-threatening, scary, confusing, weird, and but also can build you into a stronger warrior of the light. Yes?
Yes, I agree. I agree.
So what does target individual even mean to you?
To me, target individual means someone that does not follow the rules.
Yeah.
Someone that sees pure existence in a different way than most people.
Right.
I can't tell you exactly when it started, but my tools for the situation in life have always been building for me. I've had a lot of hard times at work spots and even on vacations. Sometimes I go places and end up bumping into the same people.
That's sketchy.
And I don't believe in coincidence.
Right. Let me back you up 1 second. Sorry to cut you off, but so you said you had a tough childhood that made you sort of hypervigilant and able to read people.
Yes.
Do you want to say a little bit about that?
As a child, I can. It was difficult for me. I'm not going to go into details about the hard things I had to endure, but as a child, I would come in the home and feel the energy. I didn't know I was doing that then, but it was happening. I could listen for what type of music was playing, or if any music was playing at all, or if there was something good cooking on the stove, or just the distant conversations in the house. But as a child, you learn to read body language as a protection mechanism to know if you even need to be there or not.
Right.
If it didn't feel right, I would try to get out as fast as I could.
Right. I spent a lot of time at friends' houses when I was growing up. A lot of time.
Yeah.
More time there than at my own.
I spent a lot of time in nature as a child. It was my best friend. It was.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that was part of my beginning of my training, and for something beautiful, I think.
Right.
It's the way I look at it now.
Right. So almost early mission kind of combat training in some ways.
Yes.
And so if you believe that we've come here as, whatever we could say, starseeds, indigos, children of change, agents, action, people that came to break down the old world and help bridge the way to the new earth, not new world order. So we see through stuff, and we get called paranoid and crazy, but we know what we know.
Yes.
We're wise women and men and shaman healers and magic women and men. And so that seems to be the people that are vilified the most and called crazy the most and dismissed and mocked and attacked. What do you think that's about? You do have a theory on that I would love you to share with us, if you're open to it.
The theory of why we're being mocked.
Why us, yeah, and not everyone. Like, why are we the magic ones and others are the muggles that get to live under the radar, this ignorance is bliss thing,
Because the people are living that experience of ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
They don't question why they do things, or they don't analyze their own selves.
Right.
When a man or a woman analyze their actions or their emotions,
their triggers,
it builds something in you. It builds strength when you look at yourself, when you know thyself. It builds strength within you. And
don't you also think it builds your light? Like, it amplifies your light?
Yes.
And your love and your power to enact global change, really?
Yeah, that light, that love, that power can also be a target.
Right.
for the darkness. It's going to draw a lot of people that need love. It's going to draw a lot of people that need healing to you, but also it's going to draw some people that want to hush you down, to keep you quiet, and keep that beautiful light from the Creator from spreading.
Right.
Yeah.
So, they can only do so much to get us down or hold us back, because our warrior rebel spirits will rise up from the ashes every time they try to burn down our village, right?
Yes.
And I mean, I know you, like me, we've been running on faith and fumes, brother. So
Yes.
we've been out there, and I know many times, like you, I never knew where my next better meal was coming from, and I do have some family support and some help, great friends,
Yeah.
and angels, guardians, guides, helpers, whatever we want to call them, higher self, source, your soul.
Yes.
So many vocabulary words for similar energy experiences, right? So as you're coming out of this, I know I'm still, 1 foot in, 1 foot out of this whole experience of feeling unsafe, like just feeling unsafe or unwelcome are two of the feelings I've ever felt as a starseed, or
Yes.
as just a quirk ball, someone different, someone who gets called crazy for telling the truth, someone who gets called crazy for being different, and for communing with nature, or for not caring about purses or shoes or bling or cars or accolades or trophies like that. None of that makes any sense to me, and never has.
Yes.
And so to me, us finding turkey feathers, or having experiences with the chipmunks and the elk and the blue jay, that was like better than diamonds for me.
Yes.
And to share it with you guys was really magical and special. So I'm glad you guys came for this trip. So just a few last words on encouragement for others who may be in similar experiences or feel stuck, like in a bad marriage or in a bad job, or not that it's bad, because it's all divine and it serves its purpose and we're there until we're not, but like who feel trapped and feel hopeless and despair, and maybe are being fed upon by these forces and not knowing it, or how to get out of it. What would you say?
As you speak those words to me, I'm not a religious man.
Yeah.
I believe, and there's truth in so many things.
Right.
But it reminds me of what Christ went through. It truly does. He
didn't have the easiest time.
He didn't. He thought the same way we do. We don't. Material things aren't what it is.
Right.
It's what's within us.
Right. I'm not saying it isn't nice to have comfort, or
No, of
convenience,
course,
or
yes.
even luxury,
Of course, nothing
or
wrong
even
with that.
opulence. Or I've sat at a soup kitchen and eaten there because I had to.
Yes.
Gone to food pantries because I
Yes.
had to.
Yes.
Food stamps because I had to. And I've gone to a fundraiser where it was like a $500 head of plate. I was working the event, and Conan O'Brien was the MC. So
Yeah.
the spectrum to me of haves and have-nots, and the wealth and the poor, it's not what that's about, right? This is energy now.
It's
right?
energy. It's understanding what you truly are.
Yeah. Which is more than all of them.
Yeah. Christ, when he was talking to us, he was telling us what we were.
Right.
He says, "What I have in me, I want you to have in you also, but more abundantly."
Yeah. These
That
things and greater
understanding.
shall you do.
That
I
understanding
can walk on water,
of what
you
you
can
are. Yes.
walk on
Yes.
air. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I find diehard fundamentalist Christians. For me, I'm not a Christian or a pagan. I don't
Me either.
identify with most labels really on the planet. Human. It's my chosen language and label, and woman, and healer, and whatever. Plenty of labels, and you try them on, you discard them, you move into identities, and you lose them and shed them. And that's again the human game as well.
Yeah.
So moving out of that, not just being Christian, you guys, or thumping the Bible, or holding things over people's heads, and I can be there too because of Catholic upbringing, guilt and shame and blame. It's a clusterfuck loop, really.
Yeah.
But Christ-like, now that I get.
Yes,
My
yes.
grandfather kind of taught me that energy. He almost glided through life with this gentle spirit.
Yes.
He just loved you with his eyes. You could have whole telepathic conversations with him. Now, he's someone who had conquered addiction and alcoholism back in the day, and helped a lot of other people kind of dry out in his basement. And they bring him soup and tea and books and, the Bible. And so he lived it.
Yeah.
I like people who walk their talk. Nobody walks their talk more than me. I'm a messy, crazy, sweaty human, right? That's it, every day. Now, I could probably write some new things and walk a better talk, but that has been my operating system is, just be who you are, be imperfect, and be the radiant, beautiful hot mess you are, and some learn and grow from that. So you're coming out of that, but you're mostly on the other side of it. I'm still coming out of it. Any advice to people? Do you think it's prayer or meditation or nature or a combination of things, or diet? Like, what helps you?
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Diet helps me a lot.
Yeah. So
What
you're
I put-
vegetarian.
I put in my body,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong.
No.
All I can
it's
say
your
from my
choice.
personal experience,
Yeah.
it helps me.
Sure.
It helps me balance my energy
Sure.
where it needs to be.
Yeah.
My diet helps a lot. Other thing is spending time in nature.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be by yourself, because I truly,
As you say that, I'm looking at our feet and earthing right now. We're walking the talk, ladies and gentlemen.
We're never alone. We are never alone. You are not alone.
Right.
There are so many of us out there just like you.
Right.
And,
You'll find the others.
Yes,
and
we're
they'll
coming
find you.
together.
Yeah. Puzzle pieces.
We're here for a big purpose. I believe we truly are. We're going to have to die to this world, what we thought it was, and realize what it truly is, to create the new heaven and new earth.
Yeah.
As a group of Christ-like people.
Which doesn't mean
Or
you're going to be
Buddha-like
perfect,
people,
right?
or John Lennon-like people, or Martin Luther King-like people.
Yeah.
We're going to stand up. They've killed so many of other people just like us, but those days are coming to an end.
I hope so.
We're invincible. We're indestructible.
See, it's funny you say invincible, because I often feel invisible, but I do know that I'm resilient, and I know I'm resourceful, and I know that a lot of the people I see saying be kind and wearing it on t-shirts and hats are not so kind.
Yeah.
And so I'm not, again, not judging where people are at or what their journey is. I mean, I've got an invisible gavel for sure. But I just have lost filter. I don't even know if I ever really had one, and I think that's what got me into trouble and got me noticed in equal measure. Like, oh, groom this one because she'll say the things, and she's outrageous and she's entertaining, and really I don't know. It's not that I don't know how to lie. I can tell white lies and all that, but I don't feel good. It gives me heartburn and a stomach ache when lies are anywhere near me. It's almost like being allergic to dishonesty and a lack of transparency. If someone's hiding something, my little inner psychic detective knows, and it's like, that's bullshit. That's not real.
I think Christ was the same way.
Yeah. And so some of that could be a trauma after effect of trust issues. And I have a beautiful card in my deck that has trust on it, and it's like this person in a column of light, and it's the person, their higher self, and then this beautiful ball of light at the top, kind of like your shirt, of just light. Okay. So when you feel darkness coming and pulling at you, when you feel drained in conversations or situations or circumstances, you do want to move your consciousness elsewhere.
Yes.
And you do want to find the higher vibration and frequency. Yes. You indulge it, and then you release it.
Yes.
You notice it, you look at it, you can't look away from it, you can't pretend, bypass and Pollyanna everything, but you can't dwell or wallow either, right? So it's that fine line we walk in the middle.
And don't these personal attacks are going to come your way. That's
part of the game.
That's part of the game.
Yeah.
They're going to come your way, and they will sometimes shut you down for a short time.
Yeah.
But you will rise again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will rise again. Your angels, your guides are going to come to you. They're going to help you through this.
Yeah.
They're going to give you strength. They're going to let you know what you are and what's going on.
Yeah.
And grow, rise.
Yeah. And I just feel very moved to meet another kindred, and to be honest, a lot more men are coming to me for readings and sessions and listening and asking, and that's a healing thing for me, because for a long time I haven't really trusted men, and I have many good reasons why, and then other ones that probably were just jumbled, that aren't valid, but were from old fears. And I don't want to live on a planet where I don't trust half the people on it. That's not how I want to live my life. I don't want to think men are scum, men are cheaters, men are liars, men are losers and users, and then they'll flip everything around on you because they're man, children, babies. Yeah, just this vision.
The system wants division in our lives.
Yeah, the patriarchal, toxic male thing that we're sold, and then Me Too, I'm really glad it happened and helped a lot of victims come out and tell their stories. And unfortunately, it's also been hijacked by fake feminists to me, who are mean girls in disguise. They might wear their buttons and their pussy hats and their t-shirts and wave their flags and protest, but at the end of the day, are you helping another woman in your community? Are you patronizing her business? Are you helping her get on her feet? Are you helping her get a car or a house? Because otherwise, I don't want to hear the slogans.
Well, that's lots of times.
I want the actions. I want the walk the talk.
People are dealing with trauma that haven't got things cleared out yet. They're out there waving their flags, and they're not ready to wave a flag yet.
Right.
They haven't dealt with what was inside first.
Yeah, and I love that we are more open about the stories of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and sexual trauma. That's the best thing that came out of that. And then there's some backlash to it, and some reversals and some inversions, as we know, because that's how that goes. But the main thing is to hold on to, say 10 years ago even, if a woman spoke out at all, it would be like, what were you wearing? Were you drunk?
Yeah.
Why didn't
Yeah,
you say
I
something
agree.
sooner? And we're still getting some of that, but now even that's being shut down more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it doesn't matter what I was wearing. My no is my no. My get off me is my get off me. That's not okay is not
I
okay.
agree. Yeah.
And so that was the beautiful thing that came out of that. So because women, I'm going to say it, have been targeted individuals, and children have been
Yes,
targeted
yes,
individuals
yes.
on this planet. That doesn't make us victims. It makes us human to acknowledge that that has to stop.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and absolutely boys and men too to
Yeah.
suffer under this
Yes,
system. Don't
yeah.
cry, man up,
Yeah.
tough it up. And I sometimes, when I say man up, I mean do your emotional homework. I don't mean, like just protect and provide your family, which is nice and baseline
Yeah.
and chivalry, but I mean go to therapy, man up. Go to therapy.
Yeah,
Work
Cry.
on yourself. Cry is man up. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
version of man up is
Yeah.
is not like this macho thing. It's actually, let us have strong women and sensitive men. This is what I think.
Macho is bondage.
Yeah, it's a
macho is
cage.
bondage.
It's
It
another
is, it
cage
is.
of image and
Yeah.
trying to be flashy and sexy in a
Yeah.
way that most women don't find sexy. When guys like that, we often run in the other direction.
Yeah,
We like
yeah.
someone who's more soft and approachable and present. That's where we feel safe. So I want to thank you for being that energy for me this week. I really appreciate you and how good you are to and with and for my friend. It's nice to see healthy love. It's been a while, and maybe I was thinking last night, I was like, wow, do I really have any role models of actual healthy love? And I don't know that I have many. So I count you guys in that mix, and I love to see how your relationship evolves and develops. And I think it's great to give the rest of us hope when we've kind of gone, the dating apps and this and that, and trying to even get someone to go to coffee these days is a challenge and a hurdle. But like you say, if it's the right thing, when you're not looking for it, it happens. I do believe that.
Yes.
But then I'm always like, well, am I going to be asleep? Is it going to be like, what's
Maybe.
good is that? Hopefully, I'm not. That'd be scary. But I do kind of feel at this point like I've kind of chased and looked and tried, and I think he's going to have to come to me now, or it will have to be arranged by the divinity, that are looking out for both of us. 'cause-
Loving yourself helps a lot too.
Yeah,
Loving yourself and
absolutely.
putting love out there
Absolutely. Yeah.
without saying a word. Just
Just
love
being
out.
the love
Yes.
and the real kind, not just the false,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
word that we throw around, like the kindness word. So thank you for being the love and
Thank you
being
for having
actual
me here.
generosity and kindness. You've been so good, like helping around and driving in the dishes, and you're just very, you're thoughtful like that, and I appreciate those little things. To me, it's always the little things that make us appreciate each other, and we're anticipating each other's thoughts and needs and comfort, and that's love
Yeah.
to me. That's
Well,
love. in
I love
action.
doing that.
Yeah.
I feel
It's in your nature. You're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
kind. So keep being good to my friend. Otherwise, I will kill you. My
down
warrior
with- I'm
rebel
down
call.
with
He
that.
will
I'm
come
down
out and be
with
like, he did what? But I don't anticipate that to happen. I'm not putting that out there. I'm just being silly. And so thank you for sharing that. Those of us who've been what we would call sensitive souls on this planet, it's our time now to rise, to come together and to speak our truths and to say the things. And it's going to be awkward and messy sometimes, you guys. It's going to even come out maybe a little harsh and mean sometimes. I think that no filter thing, we're all going to get there.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
it's like, I speak my truth, you speak your truth, and we find some common ground in the middle. If we can't, we just wish each other well and send each other down the river of time and say, thank you for the box of darkness. That was a
Yeah.
gift too. And I'm
Lessons,
sifting and
lessons,
sorting through
yeah.
that nonsense
Yeah.
and noise. But it all serves, as we know, and it all grows us and helps us become better humans, better containers for love, light, truth, power, and peace, and protection. And the protection we need is not from the darkness or against the darkness within ourselves or others. It's against our ideas about the darkness. Don't you think?
Yes.
It's a lot of concepts and a lot of ideologies that are crashing now, the more than actual people. You sit down with an actual human, have a meal, have a laugh, everybody can find something to relate on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It's a difficult time here on Earth.
Yeah.
It's a very important time here on Earth.
Very
And
important.
that's why we're here, and that's why we're going through these things.
We're deep souls with big
Yeah,
missions.
We're being refined.
Yes.
We're in the fiery furnace. We're being
Yes.
refined, and all these impurities are being burnt out of us.
Yeah.
And we're going to be what we are intended to be one day. So,
It's a wonderful form of alchemy, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, my friend and soul brother from another mother. So thank you for coming.
Love and light.
Love and light. Pound it out. Mwah.